Greetings once again, all you Sonic warriors out there. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another Sonic the Hedgehog comic by IDW. This time, it's the Endless Summer Special. As we draw ever closer to fall, as I don't know about you, but pumpkin spice season is starting to get underway where I am. IDW has decided to release 4 different comics by 4 different titles. Saturday morning, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is based off of the 80s series cartoon. Saturday morning, Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is also based off the cartoon. I never actually watched the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. More up to date, the My Little Pony comics, which is based off of the current generation, airing on Netflix. Check out my reactions on my channel. And this one that we'll be checking out, the one-shot Sonic the Hedgehog Endless Summer Special, which is sure to be a little bit of a, short comic, although it was actually pretty pricey. Price tag on this one kind of took me off guard, but hey, any more Sonic the Hedgehog stuff that I can get my grubby little mitts on, I'll always go for. And I'm always game for more Sonic content. I miss the old days of Archie, where you had the mainline book, Sonic Universe, you'd have the specials. Like 1 month you could have 3, almost 4 different Sonic comics all coming out within that same time frame. And I keep hoping that maybe one day IDW will be able to do the same. But enough talk. Let's jump into this endless summer before the summer ends, shall we? Ooh, and yes, I've missed Tracy Yardley. Checking out so much of his art back in the old Archie days. It's just good to see him on something Sonic related. I actually didn't know what this was about, but to see Tangle, Whisper, and Jewel hanging with Sonic and the Babylon Rogues. The Babylon Rogues don't get a lot of attention too often, but that makes it actually pretty exciting when they actually show up. Alright, so this is written by Gail Galligan. Okay, well, Ian's pretty busy nowadays, so can't expect him to be everywhere on the book, and IDW is all about diversifying the writing staff, which hasn't been a bad thing. Writing staff on Sonic IDW has been pretty dang solid, by art by Tracy Yardley and Thomas Rothenberger. Not bad. I do like Thomas's work. Inker by Maria Keene. I'm not used to that name. In fact, there are a few names here that I'm not used to on Sonic book. Colorist Joanna LaFlint, letterer Jeff Eckleberry, and designer and production Johanna Natali. Designer and production? Editor Riley Farmer. On summer vacay, David Marriott. Oh, okay, that's cool. I was about to say, always gotta have David Marriott in there. We pick up at, I think, Central City, outside of Tails' workshop. The one that looks like his friggin' giant head. I think that's still a holdover from, was it Sonic Battle, I think it was? Maybe? Yeah, I think so. We see Tails outside fixing up the tornado. Suddenly, Sonic pops his head in saying, "Should have figured I'd find you here," with Tails jumping, saying, "Sonic!" And I think he almost fries himself, honestly. Sonic sits and says, "Dude, it's perfect out. Let's grab some chili dogs, catch a wave." Tails tells him, rain check. Sonic says, "The point is that it's not raining." Tails tells him, "Sorry, Sonic, but I'm this close to finishing our fastest build yet." Sonic says, "Why didn't you say so?" Tails pops his head out from under the tornado again, saying, "Actually, could you do me a favor? See if the metal shop at Restoration HQ has a spare crankshaft socket." Tails tells him, "Anything for my best buddy." Sonic says, "Anything for my best buddy." Tails says, "Who? Me or the tornado?" But Sonic's already racing off saying, "See ya." That's actually an interesting point, considering that they became friends because Tails fixed up their tornado. Nice. I've missed Tracy's tendency for very, expressive panels. Because you pick up with Sonic running into Restoration HQ, diving and just sliding under these guys carrying a glass panel. And it's a full-on Flash moment as Sonic comes racing into Jewel's office, papers just flapping everywhere because of him. Like, seriously, anytime you want to show Barry in the Flash TV series, like, just racing through, you just have papers flying about from a sudden burst of his speed. It's just like, for the love of God, paperweights, people, paperweights! Naturally, Sonic, not being a complete jerk, helps Jewel pick up all of her paperwork as he says, "Look at all this. You're working harder than Tails today." Jewel smiles, saying, "Oh, it's nothing." Sonic says, "Does anybody around here know how to have a good time?" Jewel says with a bit of animosity, "Tangle and Whisper do." Ooh. Ooh. Someone feeling like a third wheel? Sonic's ears perk up with a devilish smile, eyeing Jewel, saying, "Oh?" Jewel looks away blushing, saying, "Nothing, it's nothing." As she sorts her papers back on the desk, she says, "I just haven't seen them in a while. They were off doing all those missions and training exercises, and ever since they came back, they've been busy with the diamond cutters. Check out my Sonic issue 63 reaction for that one. Waiting on issue 64. Jewel laments this a bit, saying, "It's like they forgot that I'm here." Aww. I actually like this. They're actually working it into the overall story. That's that's almost an Ian Flynn kind of thing to do. But that's why I always say that whenever, you have a Sonic book where Ian's any part of it, like, it all just kind of connects together so well. Like, it's immediately so easy to place this specific issue. Jewel sits back at her desk nervously, saying, "But I certainly have more than enough on my plate without any social engagements. You'd be surprised how much paperwork even one missing person can generate." Sonic gets a little serious, trying to call out to Jewel a bit, but Jewel dismisses it, saying, "Anyway, I'd better get back to it. Thanks for coming by, Sonic." So Sonic heads off to the garage, seeing the orangutan that most people would like to be called Grease, but once you call him something and try to make it official, Sega wants their hands in it a little bit. So keep him a bit of a nameless background character and you can kind of do what you want. But he gets that crankshaft from the orangutan, and as Sonic races the part to Tails, he races back to Jewel. Once again, it's causing all of her papers to fly up, and Jewel says, "Again?" But Sonic slams his hands on Jewel's desk, saying, "There's no time. We have a very important mission." And next thing you know, they're at the beach with Tangle and Whisper. Full-on beach attire as Tangle says, "Beach day! Beach day!" And beach variant Tangle, Whisper, and Jewel. Nice. It's also interesting to see Whisper smiling so much as Tangle slams down the umbrella and pops it out, saying, "Woohoo!" She then unfurls the beach towel. I love seeing the wisp just playing in the background. As Tangle says, "This is the perfect spot. Water and close enough to the water for good sandcastles, far enough from the tide." And Whisper gives a confirming while Jewel pouts at Sonic, saying, "This is the mission?" Sonic says, "The stakes could not be higher." But he lifts his sunglasses, saying, "Listen, Jewel, if saving the world 900 times has taught me one thing, wow, stealthy way of advertising the 900th special coming up soon, which I'm very excited for, is that you have to be in this for the long haul." Jewel says, "I am." Sonic then says, "Yeah, but it's about more than just working hard," as we see Tangle bound into the water, and for the shippers, a nice little scene of Tangle using her tail to splash Whisper with some water. Again, it's nice to see them frolicking. I'm also realizing they have like beach ready gloves on too. That is so wild. Like, Tangle still has her fingerless gloves, but they fit her beach attire, and Whisper has her little paw pads on her gloves and the claws and everything, but they still fit her attire. It's so wild. But Sonic tells Jewel, if you push yourself too much, if you hold your feelings back, you're going to burn out, and you won't be able to help anyone. Aw, words of wisdom from a wise hedgehog. Sonic puts back down his shades and gives Jewel a smile saying, so let's spend some quality time with your best friends, huh? Jewel smiles saying thanks. She races over to Tangle and Whisper saying, I'm coming in. She also is very cute in her little bathing suit. So as Sonic chills on his beach towel, suddenly 3 shadows overtake him, with it being obvious that Tangle, Jewel, and Whisper want to play some beach volleyball. Cue a montage of some beach sports action. Naturally, Tangle is the one to accidentally boop it into the rough up on a nearby plateau. Jewel says, I got it, and she flies over, but once she gets closer to the ball, she sees something on the other side of the plateau. Oop, the Babylon Rogues having a beach day. Honestly, I love the Sonic channel and some of the Sonic Dash race runner games with the alternate attire and stuff, because seriously, I love seeing some of these characters in alternate attire, because a lot of things have to be Sega approved, but it's easy to approve when it's stuff that Sega themselves have put out. We have Wave saying, and I'm telling you, if we put this here and angle it, we'll be able to sit in a flat spot and enjoy the shade. Jet argues, we're going to be surfing all day anyway. Just put it close to the water so we can reach our stuff. The endless debate. I have to agree that usually I would love to be able to just reach my stuff coming out of the water, because just in case somebody goes after your stuff while you're at the beach, you can just get out as quickly as possible. As Jewel continues to observe, Storm says, can I put the umbrella down now? And Wave and Jet tell him no! But as Sonic comes up next to Jewel, he say, hey, what's the hold? Ah! He does a dramatic point to the Babylon Rogues, although Jewel shushes him before he can say anything. I love that. I love the face. But it's too late. The Rogues have spotted them, ready to tussle. I love Jet in his beach attire. And even they have beachwear gloves too. That is so awesome. So as our heroes confront the Rogues next to the beach, naturally Jet, ever the confrontational one, says, there isn't enough room on the beach for all of us. While Tangle says, there super duper is. Like, there is so much beach. Sonic says, yeah, you guys can do whatever. And Wave says, you stay on your side and we'll stay on ours. While Jet says, absolutely not. He's gonna ruin our whole vibe. Sonic squints saying, excuse me, I'm all vibes. God, that line. Tangle thinks for a moment saying, come to think of it, Jewel, those guys kind of kidnapped you one time. Oh yeah, that's special. They mistook Jewel for, well, a Jewel. Honestly, they've all had a run-in with the Babylon Rogues at one point, yeah, and Whisper mentions, and I did kidnap Jet's calzone another time. While Jewel says, aw, but they also helped us save the But before Jewel can finish, Tangle cuts her off, telling the Rogues and pointing at them angrily, you're the vibe ruiners, get off our beach. Which is kinda surprising. Usually Tangle is friend to everyone. That's how you know you messed up. A Wave says, hey. She then tries to mediate saying, clearly someone has to go. Although Sonic says, we were here first. And Jet tells him, prove it. And as the two stare at each other angrily, Wave says, so I propose we settle this fairly, in the spirit of the beach, which we are all here to enjoy, with a tournament. Ooh, volleyball. Tangle says excitedly, we brought a volleyball and net. While Storm says, we have a flying disc. Sonic says, let's race. While Jet says, I'll destroy. Wave tells him, we'll play a bunch of different games to keep things fair. Whoever wins the most gets to stay, agreed? While Whisper says, agree. This is like the most roundabout way of legit having a beach day, because literally everything they're gonna do is essentially gonna take up most of their time at the beach. Sonic smirks at Jet saying, we're gonna crush you. And Jet growls angrily. I've missed the rivalry between Sonic and Jet. And for once, it's not extreme gear. This is essentially just Sonic at the Olympic Games. And so we get a montage. Round 1, disc catch. Storm throws the disc over Sonic's head. Tangle manages to catch it. She throws it to Whisper past Jet. Tangle and Whisper high-five as it's Team Sonic 1, Babylon Rogues 0. And while Sonic's excited, Wave pouts, understandably, but Jewel also seems to be in low spirits a bit. Nice. It's round 2 swim relay, which Sonic promptly sits out as he just lowers his shades as he's chilling out on his beach towel. The first two up are Storm and Jewel. I love the scene in the background where the others waiting, Tangle sticking her tongue out at Jet. Storm against Jewel. Jewel actually proves herself to be a better swimmer. Wave against Whisper. It's Wave who takes the lead. And with Jet against Tangle, I love Tangle's swimming technique as she uses her tail as a propeller. Unfortunately, that is not enough as Jet wins, making it Team Sonic 1, Babylon Rogues 1. Then we have round 3, sand sculpting. And naturally, ever the egotist, Jet builds a sand himself riding an extreme gear, which, all things considered, is a very nice build. Although, I agree with Wave face palming, while Team Sonic builds Sand Chow, which, wow, damn, that's elaborate. I mean, let's face it, one person? Okay, very nice. You've made multiple chow and essentially a slide in a garden. Dang. Making it Team Sonic 2, Babylon Rogues 1. Who ultimately judged that? Next is round 4, surfing. Once again, Sonic angrily sits out because, water. And of course, the rogues are amazing at surfing, while Jewel can barely keep her balance. Whisper, also not the greatest. And Tangle looks like she completely wipes out. So Team Sonic 2, Babylon Rogues 2. And the final round and the tiebreaker, beach volleyball. Wave explains the rules. First team to 21 points with a 2-point lead wins. No double touches. Rock, paper, scissors for first serve. Are they actually going to play a 3-on-4? That seems a little unfair. Unless someone's going to be the ref. Maybe Jewel? Oh, Sonic and Jet do rock, paper, scissors. Shoot. And Jet chooses rock while Sonic chooses scissors. Babylon Rogues serve first. First up, Storm the Albatross. And a mighty serve. Unfortunately, it's immediately out of bounds. All that power don't mean nothing if you can't aim. That's 1-0. Next up, Sonic gives a serve. Storm manages to hit it first, knocking it over to Wave, who knocks it over to Jet. Wave serves it high. Jet strikes it. Sonic goes in for a diving save, sending it over to Tangle. Tangle says, on it. Whisper. She serves it to her, ignoring Jewel. And Whisper manages to spike it down. As it hits the ground on the rogue side, it's 2-0. But despite winning, Jewel has obviously started to feel left out once again. And as the matches go on, Jewel kind of has a bit of a moment. Tangle constantly leaving, saying, sorry, training, I'll catch you after. The lead continues 5-3. Jewel remembers seeing Tangle and Whisper constantly engaged in combat training while she's bogged down with paperwork. And the one time that Jewel tries to go in to hit the ball, Wave manages to easily spike it, making it 5-6. But the tables turn again. Sonic makes it 11-9. Storm being unable to catch the ball makes it 17-14. Jewel and Whisper and Tangle cheer. Jewel thinks of the fact that she's not even engaged with the diamond cutters nowadays. But her attention is brought back to reality when someone calls out her name. Whisper sending the ball her way. But she misses. Jewel doesn't catch the ball, making the points 19-20 in the Rogue's favor. Sonic brings everyone together saying, alright team, it's come down to this. 1 point stands between them and victory. Are we gonna let them take it? Tangle screams, no! While Whisper, in the loudest whisper, says no. Sonic excitedly turns to Jewel saying, so remind me one more time, what did we come here to do? I think Sonic noticed what was going on with Jewel, because that seems to snap Jewel out of it for a moment, her little funk, as Tangle says, chill at the beach! And Sonic says, and what are we gonna do? And Tangle screams, chill at the beach! And Whisper, Again, in the loudest whisper, says chill at the beach. While Jewel confidently says, I have a plan. First thing we have to do is isolate Jet. So as Wave serves, Sonic bounces it back. Storm manages to catch it, serving it over to Wave, who sends it over to Jet. Jewel's plan continues. We're going to take advantage of his ego, of course. Jet catches the ball with a mighty serve, but Tangle manages to bump it back up. She bumps it over to Storm, who manages to get it. As the plan continues, Jewel saying, Tangle and Whisper, you two push Wave and Storm away from the net. Keep them on their toes and make Jet feel like he's being left out. Storm hits the ball. Whisper catches it, sends it over to Wave, who runs for it, and Jet gets visibly angry. The plan continues. Jewel saying, then when you create a false opening for him, he won't be able to resist. Sonic knocks the ball up. Jet sees an opening. He goes to take it. Jewel says, but here's the thing. The Babylon Rogues don't know what I'm capable of. As Jet serves, Tangle gets it with her tail. Jewel says, they'll have forgotten I'm here. So when the ball comes right for Jewel, she goes right for it, easily managing to catch it, sending it right to the Rogue's side, making it 20-20. Jewel's plan will turn the tide. Again, I'm surprised this is a 4-on-3 match. You think the Rogues would get some kind of handicap, but it's Sonic's turn to serve, and with a dynamite spike, he makes the points 21-20. Next, Whisper sends the ball over to Jewel, and as Jet tries to go for it, Jewel spikes it down, easily making the points 22-20. Team Sonic 3, Babylon Rogues 2. And as Team Sonic lifts up Jewel, saying, with Tangle saying, MVP, MVP. And Sonic says, you did it! Jewel notices the Rogues walking away in a huff, and she feels a little bad. I gotta say, I noticed the art shift a while ago, but I don't hate it. I just would have loved to have seen more Tracy. I love Tracy's art. But naturally we pick up with the Rogues, obviously mad. Jet grabs his board saying, see? Didn't matter if we tilted the umbrella or not. The Wave says, if you say one more word, and Jet says, one more word. Wave says, that's it. Although Storm interjects saying, so should I close up the umbrella or? Suddenly a voice calls out, hey. And as the Babylon Rogues notice Sonic and his crew coming over the ridge, Jet sighs saying, what do you want now? Jewel says a truce, and as she flies down to them, she says, it's a nice day out, and we brought extra snacks. Storm says, we did too. Although, Wave opens her mouth, so I think maybe it was supposed to be her who said that. Jet says, ew, no. And he puts his board between him and Jewel, telling Wave, we'd want to spend more time with them. The Wave says, come on, man. Maybe you'll get a rematch. Jet tells Jewel, fine, if you guys really want us to stick around that much. I love how we always play to Jet's ego. We then pick up with all of them roasting marshmallows, Sonic utterly engulfing his marshmallow in fire, saying, crisp on. Jet says, no. The perfect marshmallow has to have a nice even toast. You have to find just the right spot and rotate. Though Sonic ignores him as he pulls his marshmallow apart, crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside. Sonic says, now this is perfection. Jet says, ew. The Whisper comes in saying, amateur. Sonic and Jet turn to her saying, excuse me? Whisper then uses one of the wisps, looks like the hover wisp, to roast her marshmallow, as Sonic shouts, Wisp Shield. While Jet questions, is that cheating? I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. Makes it so that it doesn't burn too much. We then have Tangle talking with Jewel saying, hey, today was really fun. I've missed hanging out with you, man. And Jewel says, me too. I've been working too hard lately. Tangle tells her, so, let's take a break and hang out. Jewel says, you got it. And Tangle asks, how's next weekend? And Jewel says, I'd love that. We then see Storm coming in with a whole bunch of sticks. And we end things with Whisper and Wave seemingly getting along. Sonic and Jet, of course, competing over, of all things, roasting marshmallows. And the sun sets on the horizon. This was a very nice special. And it really was a very good bit of summer fun. I've never roasted marshmallows at the beach, though. It always feels like a camping thing, but that does sound actually pretty nice. I know some people love to complain about the OCs of IDW, but sometimes sometimes it's a good way of just being able to have a plot come out of nowhere. And there were more game characters in this than comic originals, between the Babylon Rogues, which is 3, Sonic, that's 4, and then if you count all the Wisp, then that just bumps things up exponentially. But this was a good way of just making it so that there could be something that pertains to some form of the plot, so that we could have something continuous, because at this point in the comics, Sonic was just hanging out with friends, but having something that could actually tie into where we're at in the comics was something related to the Diamond Cutters, Jewel and Tangle and Whisper. And since Jewel hasn't really been like a big highlight of things, it was also a good way of bringing her into things as well. Not to mention, we haven't seen the Babylon Rogues in a hot minute, so why not bring them in? And the fact that there is all those events that were mentioned. Tangle needing to save Jewel from the Babylon Rogues because they had raided Jewel's shop and had mistaken Jewel for a gem. Whisper in that one-off adventure with Jet that I didn't even think was going to be canon, only for that to be canon. There's no reason it couldn't be, but it was such a side thing with Jet and Whisper encountering each other. I never would have guessed it'd be brought up again in any capacity, which made it actually pretty fun. And I've always loved seeing, even in the Archie days, when comic original characters or characters outside of the games interact with game characters. That can give the game characters other characters to bounce off of. But I also love it when other game characters interact with characters they don't normally interact with. That's why I always love stories like, in the Archie days, Treasure Team Tango, I'm thinking of Tango, Treasure Team Tangle, or Hedgehog Havoc, or the Champion storyline. Just any opportunity to see characters who don't normally interact too much, or would normally not teaming up. This is good stuff, and is yet another moment that really makes me hope that one day we'll get like an ongoing spin-off book, but who knows. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Would you have liked to have seen more characters involved with this? I feel like it would have got a little unruly. With the set cast of characters, you were able to have a good one-off. Any more, and I feel like this would have bloated the book a little too much beyond a good initial premise. I still don't know how I feel about the 4v3. I feel like the only way they got that pass without any argument from the Rogues was playing to Jet's ego, saying, "Oh, you guys are way too good. We need at least one more person on the team." Although once the Rogues lost, I'm surprised they weren't like, "You had another person. We should have automatically got at least a 5-point lead." Although most times when Jewel hit the ball, that resulted in the Rogues getting a point, so he could have considered that the handicap. They had Jewel on their team, only for her to come from behind and be the benefit at the end. But this was a lot of fun. I love stories like this. Nice, simple, clean, little character moments to just remind us that, Tangle and Jewel, they're still best friends. Just because we haven't seen them hang out together, that could be a plot point in and of itself. So if we were to have another one of those, who would you like to see? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.